Skoda Kodiaq 4x4 2022 long-term review. Why we're running it: to keep tabs on the career of Skoda's popular 7-seat SUV offering. When I entered automotive journalism 6 years ago, the Volkswagen Group was in the ascendancy. It had the budget in mainstream markets wrapped up with its Seat, Skoda, and Volkswagen brands, while Audi and Porsche were going from strength to strength at the high end. This seemed an impossible position to fall from. It had, as far as we were concerned, almost perfected the creation of everyday cars. And then there was a sudden fall from grace into a mire of problems that it's yet to escape, as it struggled in making technology the central point of cars, rather than driving or practicality. Seat Leon, Skoda Fabia, Skoda Octavia, Volkswagen Golf, Volkswagen Polo, Audi A3. All stayed the same to drive while becoming harder to use. Rive while becoming harder to use. However, one Volkswagen Group car that arrived at about the same time as me has avoided that fate so far: its recent update, a facelift rather than a full renewal, the Skoda Kodiaq. Not only does that mean it still has fine ergonomics and strong driving attributes, but also that it has yet to receive any electrification. Our road testers said on first impression that some facelifts are a tacit admission that there was something wrong with the original car. The Kodiaq is quite the opposite, and I wholeheartedly agree. Only a dedicated enthusiast could pick out a facelift Kodiaq by the more upright front grille, new LED headlights and reshaped front and rear bumpers. Other than that, there's very little to give the game away. Inside, it's even subtler. Not even the infotainment touchscreen has grown any larger. Dramatic gasp, although its software is updated. We've gone for 3/4 Sportline trim, which brings, as well as flat grey paint that will fool some into thinking you've shelled out for the hot Skoda Kodiaq Veris, adaptive matrix headlights, an extended roof spoiler, gloss black exterior trim pieces, a rear view camera, sports seats, and faux Alcantara micro-suede upholstery with grey stitching. This all makes an affordable 7-seat family SUV feel just a tad racy. The virtual cockpit digital screen is a worthy option at £405, allowing you to configure the dials in various ways. The satin navy map between them is especially good, and surely helping it come resale time. Although having said that, putting a lap timer in the display is surely pushing the sporty impression to the point of parody. The powertrain certainly isn't a parody, thankfully. We've chosen the more powerful petrol sport line, with a 187 brake horsepower 2.0-liter 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine rather than a 148 brake horsepower 1.5-liter 4-cylinder turbo petrol. There's also a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder diesel making 148 brake horsepower or 197 brake horsepower if you're so inclined. The more powerful versions of both the petrol and diesel engines also add a driveshaft to the rear to enhance the sure-footedness. My first impressions are very positive. This feels just like those previous generation Volkswagen Group cars that I so enjoyed, and that's even despite the fact that it's a fully fledged SUV. For although it's undoubtedly a big car, it's certainly not as big, either literally or visually, as rivals like the Kia Sorento. It has more than enough power to minimize stress on the motorway, while it doesn't float or roll around like you might expect, riding quite firmly in order that it can serve up some semblance of sporty handling, furthered by steering that gains weight progressively as you turn. It is indeed only a semblance, but I see that as for the better, because it means the car still feels laid back rather than always raring to go like proper sports SUVs, for instance our Ford Puma Saint. You could also add dynamic chassis control for £1,105 if you wanted to. It also feels eminently practical, right to the brief, with loads of space for passengers and luggage, convenient little features, a big boot with a third row that's easy to erect and then fold away again, and all the gear you could reasonably expect.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.